What's going on? BULTMT Podcast, Volume 2, Number 2, Numero Dos. It's a very special one. We got some former player of the years in the building. One is a Sun Devil, one is a Wildcat. These players are phenomenal. I've actually watched them when I was in high school. We're all pretty much the same age, same range, but I'm telling you, this is truly an honor. These men have went on to start foundations that serve this community. They're using who they are and who they were as a means of moving forward. I'd like to introduce to y'all my man Andrae Thurman. My man Donnell Knight. What's going on with y'all, man?
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the show, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So we'll start off with you, Dre, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, history, accolades, everything that you have going on.
As you know, I grew up here in the West Valley. I went to junior high school here, Westview High School. I was a three-sport athlete. Continue on to college with a full scholarship to the University of Arizona. Was fortunate enough to play after college. I spent some time in Green Bay for a couple years and Tennessee for a year. Played in Canada for a year, and then I played arena ball and UFL, combination of 6 years. I played 12 years after, man. I just retired a couple years ago.
And you got 2 championship rings, right?
I got 2.
With Dallas Desparados, right?
Las Vegas Locomotives down in the UFL.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. We actually lost the championship down in Dallas. So.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
That's it, man. I'm Arizona here, man. It's my home. I love it here, man. I love coming back. Love what you're doing.
Absolutely, man. You're originally from H-Town, though, right?
Originally from Houston.
Yeah.
Moved out here when I was about 11.
Okay.
Mom moved from Texas to Vegas about 3 years ago. So
shout out Miss Thurman.
Yeah, she's country lady, cool lady.
Okay.
Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
Let's get it. Yeah. She drop the top and count my money straight up. Then hit the field, we ballin' out, no Lakers. I can't complain, just pop 3 pairs of paper. Then hit the field, we callin' shots on tables. Drop top on them benches.
Talk to us, man.
Man, that's kind of hard just to talk about yourself, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, I'm from here, Phoenician. My parents came from Indiana. My dad originally from Dallas. My mom originally from Indiana. Came out here in '79, that's the year I was born. And that's all I know since then. I mean, I moved around all over, but this has always been home. Grew up on the west side, and I moved to, like I was telling Andrae, my story a little different. Kind of moved around all over. When I first, was coming up living with my mom. So I stayed pretty much all over Arizona, right? All over the valley anyway.
Right.
So that's how I kind of got to meet a lot of people. People like Dre, connected, because I never really stayed put too long on any side of town. I was on the west side for a couple years, then the east side, and north side, and to Tucson. I mean, I've been all over AZ for real.
Right.
And I done traveled pretty much every city in Arizona, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little, I am from here. I'm diehard to the core, but I do got love for Indiana too, because I also spent time there.
Oh, yeah.
And halfway through my life, I moved there. Went to junior high there. Then I moved to Ohio, and I came back to Arizona. Then I went to high school here. Went to Corona. And then went to Arizona State. And then in that time, I started playing pretty much everything: basketball, football, baseball, track, everything. And by the time I came to Arizona, that's when the basketball thing took over. I didn't really start playing until like 8th grade.
Right.
And around 8th grade, I started realizing, like, damn, it might be all right. You know what I'm saying? I came out here, went to Desert Sands, right when basketball season was starting. So I got put me on the team like a week before season started. You know what I'm saying? Off the strength of just walking in there. Like, I ain't really know how to play for real at all. And that's how I kind of got a little name off hoop, for real. That started messing from there.
I think I likely remember because I went to Gorman.
Yeah, we used to play them too.
Yeah.
That tripped me out because when I first came out here, that's when cats was playing outside. You know what I'm saying? I came from the Midwest. I was like, damn, the game outside, you know what I'm saying? It was a trip. So, you know what I'm saying? That tripped me out. But I don't know, different living compared to, you know, the Midwest and here when I first came. It was hard to adjust. So hoop, I started migrating to that more because I really didn't know a lot of people like that because I moved a lot. So I just learned how to get along with people just enough to be cool with them, you know what I'm saying? I never really had best friends for real or from a hood or whatever, so to speak. I lived all over for real. And so, you know, it was easy to
Let me take you to the hood, nigga. Show you how I live, nigga. You know I'm a hood, nigga. 4-5, gripping, smoking on that good, nigga. Rolling through the hood, you better keep the iron on you. Before niggas get the fire on you. Jump through the mud, pillow talking like a get that ass touch, little homie, make the chopper spit. Make you hit the ground, cuz, nigga, you
It's crazy how this connection, it lines up, and I'm gonna tell you how competitive I am because I was a hooper coming into high school first. I was a hooper before football.
Shout out to Desert West.
But as a freshman, me and Donnell same class, but as a freshman, I went to the state championship game, okay? And that was Corona versus Shadow Mountain. I was when Lamont Long was a senior, and I when Mike Bibby and Nick Green and a couple cats. But the competitive nature shows the fact that Donnell, everybody as a freshman was talking about Donnell. That's the best freshman there. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I gotta get better because I was on freshman team. I wasn't on varsity as a freshman, you know. But I was like, if I want to get recruited, I got to be playing varsity by next year because I got to catch Donnell Knight, who's already a freshman. So the competitive nature already was instilled, and as a competitive, you see other players and you respect other players from, you know, from wherever they're at, whether it's, you know, Southside, TNT, wherever.
You know, flip for him, that when I started seeing them in football, you know, they was making noise. It was dominating him and Bobby. They was dominating cats. Like, you know, when they played, they was gonna eat. Cats was betting on them and all that, just like they was doing for me. And I didn't even know that with who. So, like you said, respecting another, you know, athlete's craft and all that, that was big learning that because it was a lot of lines that we crossed growing up, you know what I'm saying? But with that respect of how we worked in our separate sports, I feel like that shit kind of calmed it, you know what I mean? Where it never really wasn't no beef because we respect what it was, you know what I'm saying?
Respected the craft,
you know.
I love how they're being so modest right now because they totally skipped over being state players of the year. It don't matter if you're in Alaska. It don't matter what state you in. You gotta be on your game to be state player or even state player runner-up. Y'all gotta talk about that. Don't be modest, man. Tell me. What was that like? What was that season that led to that?
I'm modest because it really wasn't. I can't take all the credit, you know what I'm saying? One, you know, I believe in a higher power, so I always give credit to God for sure off the rip, like regardless of, you know, anything first. And then the second thing is, like, I had a lot of people in my life that helped me, you know what I'm saying, to keep it 100 with you. So you can't help to be humble, like, in certain settings, especially after you've been humbled by life in certain settings, for real, that you thought you was that dude. So, you know, so that's why I'm humble to a fault sometimes, because it took a lot of people around me, for real, to get me there, because I had the glimpse of whatever I can do, but I ain't really know how to work hard and all that, you know, at the sport, at pretty much anything in life, until I was challenged, you know, in these ways. And like my coach, and when my father, you know, I got my dad in my life, he raised me, so, you know, that played a big role, for real.
Definitely.
After like going through all that, moving around, and when I finally got with my pops, it was a wrap. That was quiet for that. I wasn't no moving around and all that. It was solid ground, like I was going here, you know, he was on my head and all that. He OG with it. So, but anyway, nonetheless, like, that's why I'm humble, and I really give credit to all them people. It's hard for me to take credit when, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't driving, I wasn't spending the bread, the only thing I did was produce, which allowed doors to open where I ain't really have to pay, you know what I'm saying? So I did my part. So that's how I was raised, like, you know, you part of the team, you doing your part.
Definitely.
And that's what I did, you know what I'm saying?
I respect that.
Work hard for someone else's dream or be your own boss and retire when you are ready. More and more people are becoming entrepreneurs, and Arizona is the perfect place to do it. Here at Rise Up Now, we prepare and file your LLC, corporation, and nonprofit paperwork. We also help with business plans and grant writing. We can design your website, provide marketing and advertising, or small business loans. We are a complete small business center. With everything we offer, all you need to do is start your business now. Rise Up Now. It's now or never. Call today, 602-812-3561.
But I remember going to your Instagram page and seeing that little banner, little Gatorade banner that said Donnell Knight. Now, them people got their faith in you. Yeah. But it took that on the court. And that time, that took you. So that's
my upbringing, man. Wanted to try to escape. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get up out of here. Try to take myself to a different place. You know what I'm saying? I've always been trying to evolve and be on that end. And now that was a way. Like, it was my time. You know what I'm saying? I did it to make friends, and then all of a sudden it was like, it was more than I could handle. You feel me? It was like, who's friends now? I don't know. Like, it was getting out of control. Like, so. All of that stuff, you know, man, at the time when I was younger, before I even had kids, I really don't remember my mentality of my mission I was on. I remember who I am now, and now I'm more of a beast now than I was then. So it's like, I could talk about the good old days, but I'm really trying not to live in the past and stay in the present, you feel me? And, you know, it's not to discredit anything, and I appreciate you even bringing me on to talk about it. Like, I'm humble to a fault, man. I really respect it, thank you, and all of that, man, because I really don't talk about it like that. But when I look back at it sometime, or when my son bring it up, I'm like, damn, you know, I was pretty good, I guess, and give myself some credit, you know what I'm saying? Because I really don't do that, you know what I mean? Like, I let everybody else, if everybody else said, then that means it's real, so.
Oh, no, absolutely, man. When the BULTMT Podcast kind of consists of, you know, me and these four people that are behind the camera, and we all have a thought process about respect. You know, we really have admiration for each other, and before we even went into the whole phase of all that's going on right now, we sat down with a whole bunch of names. You know, and I'm like, man, you know, who did what? This isn't really a situation to make me look big, but there probably wasn't a lot of people out there that gave you that credit, that gave you that, you know, that look, you know, even with Dre, and I've known him for years, you know. He really didn't, you know, he came back and the homies was just like, whatever, on him, wrapped around him, you know, not really helping him, pushing him the way that you say your parents did, you know, so. I'm doing that now, you know. I'm clapping my hands now for y'all because I appreciate who y'all are, and the fact you even came here on this startup show. You know what I mean? We're humble, we're meager, but you know, just like how you thanking me for that, I'm thanking y'all for being here. And I'm thanking you for going that extra mile throughout, you know, your career to even get to that point, man. I know I used to hoop, pretty sure you used to ball. We ain't make it. Look outside this room, and a whole bunch of people used to do something, but don't have nearly a small bit. So, you know, I'm just giving you your props for back then, and then moving forward, you know, we gonna
much love. Appreciate that,
keep
pushing.
Never underestimate the impact that a good father can have on his child's life. I love my dad for that. He taught me a lot. You taught me well, yeah, you taught me well. You taught me well, so I'ma have to do it for you. You taught me well, yeah, you taught me well. You taught me well, so I'ma have to do it for you. Be at war with myself, there's no competition. Have to evolve and dismiss the opposition. Ignore the distractions and focus on my living. Remove all the BS within extreme precision. Try to see good in people when others don't. Motivation is key when others won't. Don't be heartless, that satisfaction ain't what I want. Be myself and establish my realness from the jump. Keep the drive, take every moment, be thankful I'm alive. I'ma try to take everything you taught me, impact the life. We can fly, just take a moment and listen to the cry. But I know you watching me from the sky. Stand alone, be a man, lend a hand. if you can. Respect is earned. Get it on my own. Cause I'm a king. Have to go get the throne. You taught me well. Yeah, you taught me well. You taught me well, so I'ma have to do it for you. You taught me well. Yeah, you taught me well. You taught me well, so I'ma have to do it for you. If I fall, I get back up and I dust it off. Don't mean you soft, it's bound to happen, so brush it off. They don't see my vision, I cut them off. Me, you don't need them, so cut your loss. Take care of my family, do it by any means. Avoid self-destruction, it comes from many things. Can't let the world teach you anything. I'm not complaining because I'm grateful for plenty things. Keep the drive, take every moment, be thankful I'm alive. I'ma try to take everything you taught me, impact the lives. We can fly, just take a moment and listen to the cry. But I know you watching me from the sky. Stand alone, be a man, lend a hand, if you can. Respect is earned, get it on my own. Cause I'm a king, have to go get the throne. You taught me well, yeah, you taught me well. You taught me well, so I'ma have to do it for you. You taught me well, yeah, you taught me well. You taught me well, so I'ma have to do it for you. You taught me well, yeah, you taught me well. You taught me well, so I'ma have to do it for you. You taught me well, yeah, you taught me well. You taught me well, so I'ma have to do it for you.
What about you, man?
It's kind of just, similar recipe. Just having a father figure, I think, plays a huge role into adolescent stage, because you have that drive, and you have someone who pushes you. What you talked about, sometimes your peers can be a distraction or negative, or certain along those lines. But being thankful, man, thankful to the Lord that bless us without injuries and stuff like that, and on the path. Because as you know, there was guys in my high school, Philip Page, just to name a few. I mean, there were guys in my high school smooth faster than I was, growing up, and I think I was fortunate, man, to have a strong father figure and guys in my right corner who really cared about the situation, who pushed me, just to endure that process, man. But he said, man, it's humbling. What you talk about is, it's been so long almost. I remember we got our 20-year reunion next year, but it's been a while, man. But I do get more of a gratitude nowadays if I see someone from my youth organization who's in 7th and 8th grade, and they're fighting some of those temptations, and those things right there is kind of within, just makes me feel better.
Right. And even with you, man, there was times that I took a backseat, and I'll say this, live. I took a backseat to really being around you, because I'm thinking what I'm used to seeing, my couple of years before we really were out here, like, permanently, was coming from Chicago, so didn't get to see it. I didn't have my peers out there, but I guess I got to be around the championship mentality, seeing the Bulls play. Like, live, Chicago Stadium, Jordan 2 Chainz, and then everything, so I see what they went through. So when I come here and I'm seeing 3 of my close friends that have been in the NFL, I always was like, man, I just hope they do what they got to do, because you got enough flies around you, and no offense to the homies that from Westview and Desert Vista and Tolleson and all that, but I admired you. You know what I mean? We played with each other in what I think it was Desert Sand or Desert West, and then played against each other in Pop Warner, played against each other in high school.
High school.
You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, boom, y'all make it to college. And I remember that first game, U of A versus Penn State. I was wild, man. I'm sitting there like proud, really, really humble about the whole situation. And seeing Mike, you know, going to the Super Bowl, and then seeing you know, arena boss, names are still prevalent. Bobby, you know, doing his thing, getting moved around. I love when he went to the Bears, you know. And I was like, these is my people.
And then making an impact on top of that, which is is crazy. You know what I'm saying? When you seeing your people like hooping on TV, and you like, then they actually
and I didn't have like hoop friends. I had like mainly football friends, so that's why I was just honored with you.
I remember when I realized how it affected my family members when I would go home, and how they would trip off. You know what I'm saying? Just the littlest things, and I used to be like, you know, y'all can have that shit, shorts and jerseys and all that. You know what I'm saying? But then later now, I respect that. You know, they was really. You know, that changed their life, you know what I'm saying, for real.
And they don't know they could possibly.
Yeah, for real. And just even just to say, like, oh, that's my peoples, you know what I'm saying? Just to say that.
Yeah.
Some people get, you know, love off that. Like, man, that's my brother or that's my cousin. That's really family.
Right.
You know, and that's my people. Just to be able to say that and know that, you know, they got somebody like that they call on too. You know what I mean?
I think the only thing I got as a souvenir is maybe a football hat. I don't got no jerseys, man.
Man, I didn't.
Everybody got my shorts, man.
But that's love, though. I mean, it come and go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it come and go, man.
Whatever.
Definitely. We talk about the past. We're gonna take a brief break. The BULTMT Podcast. We're gonna get back to it. Donnell Knight, Andrae Thurman.